Hey y'all, welcome back. It is me, BrittReacts, and today we're going to react to two worlds colliding. This is Dr. Mike diagnosing devastating hockey injuries.
You are now tuned into BrittReacts.
All right. My computer's being... No, there we go.
We've reacted to all sorts of sports injuries, but hockey injuries, I know these are about to be tough. I'm excited to diagnose. Let's get started.
Tough.
Whoop.
Zach Cassian's pass now finally reaches Larson and short. Backhand centering pass. Cassian. Russell lets it go.
Oh my God, did he get hit in the face? You know what I always do as a doctor in these situations is not only look at the player, I also look at the ice. Why?
So
because
fast.
blood is very visible on the ice.
One-timer right here by Russell.
Slow motion.
Net. And right there you can see.
Do they wear cups? I don't know enough about professional hockey. Do they wear cups? I mean, blunt force trauma of the scrotum like that can easily end up with the testicle ruptured. You get injury of the tunica albuginea. That requires ASAP surgery. Even if the testicle ruptures, as long as surgery is done properly and the repair is done within like 3 days, you have 90% chance of saving the testicle. Then there's some situations where the damage is so far gone that surgery can't help it. And in those instances, you may have to perform an orchiectomy where you remove the testicle in its entirety, which is usually okay because you could still be fertile with a single testicle and have enough testosterone production as well.
I was right now years old when I found out that you can rupture a tea bag. Are y'all okay? Oh my God. Out of all hockey injuries I think I could have ever thought of, this one, my friends, was not on my bingo card. Jesus, save the tea bags. Ouch. And y'all know I talk about this all the time when I'm reacting. There's all these... My computer needs a hard rest. I talk about this all the time, like when I'm talking about injuries. They're so hard for me to follow. I appreciate that he's like highlighting them, putting circles around them, but like I didn't even notice that that was what the injury was. I didn't know what it was until he said it, and I'm like, but yeah, think about how fast that thing was going. Okay, next, Dr. Mike.
Barons. Puck forced along, but walked on by Malkin. Moves it and fires.
Oh, did he get hit in the groin also? Why is everyone getting hit in the groin?
No,
Gregory
seriously.
Campbell dove in front of a 90-mile-an-hour shot by Evgeny Malkin. The puck snapped the smaller of the two bones in Campbell's lower leg.
He broke his fibula? The fibular head, there exists a condition called like a fibular head dysfunction where the fibula doesn't move in the correct pattern. That can cause significant pain. This guy completely broke it, and he's still skating around trying to prevent a power play.
He played for a minute.
We got a good look at Brayden Schenn's injury in the last shift. He comes in, he hits Zubers. It is the skate that comes up across the stomach.
Dang! Y'all warned me about these ones. I was looking at the guy that fell, not the one who just got his abdomen opened.
He comes in, he hits Zubers. It is the skate that comes up across the stomach.
That's a pretty mean scar. I mean, that's like... It looks pretty benign, I'm not gonna lie. But that could have been really bad, because if that went a little bit deeper, that could have been easily the colon. The large intestine sits right there in that pocket. Here, this looks like a scab. Like a mean scab, but a scab.
On March 11th, 2000, Leafs defenseman Brian Berard was accidentally clipped in the eye by the stick of Ottawa Senator Marian Hossa. Berard suffered a retinal tear and later a detached retina.
A detached retina is ocular surgery instantly.
Oh, wait. Look at his eye. Is it worth it, y'all? These injuries are gruesome.
Later, a detached retina.
A detached retina is ocular surgery instantly. Some of the classic symptoms of retinal detachment is like a curtain falling over your vision so you cannot see, floaters, flashing lights, etc. But this is a condition that warrants urgent evaluation.
In the 2001-2002 season, Berard returned to action with the New York Rangers and thankfully was able to play 6 more seasons in the NHL.
Speaking of the Rangers, my buddy Jacob Trouba, who is the captain of the Rangers, recently has an art exhibit that he invited me to, but I couldn't go because I was in the hospital. But we did hang out at New York Fashion Week. Check out our picture here.
Sick.
Well, McSorley is out there as well. Oh, McSorley.
Oh, did he hit his head on the ice?
And caught him in the helmet.
Concussion.
Oh, is this a concussion?
Concussion.
Oh, no.
Immediate concussion.
Oh, who does that? The temple is a really tough area because you have...
That seemed very intentional.
Oh, who does that? The temple is a really
That
tough
was
area because
intentional,
you have the
right?
semicircular canals right in the ear, and that's where your balance center is. Also, there's a little soft spot there as well that can really do some serious damage because the suture lines are right there.
So did the injury come from the head hitting the ice or the stick hitting the, like, did it hit his helmet? Like, they wear helmets, so I don't, Jesus Christ. I hope that man was severely punished for what he
A
did.
rare criminal conviction for sports violence. A Canadian court today found suspended professional hockey player Marty McSorley guilty of assault.
Wow, they charged him with assault?
Good.
That's incredible.
Because
he was
could've
sentenced to
killed him.
18 months probation. He didn't get jail time, but still, that's a serious
That's a big
crime.
deal.
First
yeah.
period, I'm coming around the net. Craig Ludwig slashes me in the thumb, breaks my thumb in 2 places. Split second later, literally no more than half a second later, Darian Hatcher comes flying, throws a high elbow, jumps into my head, and breaks my jaw in 4 places.
Oh my God, can you imagine breaking your hand and your jaw simultaneously? You need a hand specialist. You need a facial reconstruction specialist, like a maxillofacial physician.
Doctor came in, says we can keep you here, you can get your jaw fixed here, or you can go back with your team and get it fixed. I flew home with no painkillers, couldn't drink, couldn't eat, spitting into a cup. I went through 2 cups of spitting blood because I was literally severed inside my mouth.
Why was it worth traveling with the team to not get that fixed? I don't get it. I want to celebrate people who are tough, but when you're just being macho.
Maybe he wanted to have the surgery at home so he could recover at home. That could be my only, and so that means something to people. I'm sure he didn't want to see doctors he doesn't know and be in a place he didn't know recovering. That would be, I don't know. But yeah, like, I mean, I wouldn't do that, but I could think of a good reason. You know what I mean? Not because he wanted to ride home on the jet with the team. I hope not.
To be macho and you're putting your health at risk, I got to point out the flaw in that mentality.
On his stick, he moves it.
Oh, that's a bad hit.
It looks so bad. When he was almost 1 minute, like he didn't move any. There's no movement. It was scary.
Yeah, in those situations, you want to keep them as immobile as possible
What
in order
team
to
is the
get
Mighty
their
Ducks?
C-spines.
I mean, not team. Where do the Mighty Ducks play out of? I didn't even know Mighty Ducks was a real thing. I thought it was just a movie.
Stabilized to get them off the ice in a safe manner. You never know what is damaged surrounding the spinal cord.
Right.
Sometimes unnecessary movement can do more harm than good and actually can end up paralyzing someone. That's unnecessary. Again, that's that macho mentality that's going to cause someone to become permanently disabled or just miss a couple of games. Like, the risk is just not valuable. Remember, when you lose consciousness from a concussion, that means your brain's experiencing massive inflammation, massive damage, and it's in a vulnerable state. So to go out on the ice and risk getting a second concussion.
He came back to the game and scored the game-winning goals for his team. Where is he now? Is he well? Is his brain healthy?
Is putting yourself in a situation for permanent brain damage.
Steve, I just want to apologize for what happened out there.
Oh, he hunted him down, killed him, and then knocked him out. What is the helmet doing? There's so many knockouts happening. Do the helmets work?
Apologize for what happened out there.
He immediately.
But I had no intention on hurting you. And I feel awful for what transpired.
Is that because he fell on him and his face hit the ground first? 3 fractured
No,
vertebrae
look at
in
him
his
as
neck with
soon
a
as-
grade
oh
3
my
concussion,
God.
vertebral ligament damage, facial cuts. Wow, amnesia. There's just like a lot of neuro injury from a single accident. That's what happens when you get knocked out and then you start falling,
I mean,
only
he
to have someone
immediately
land on
went
top
limp.
of you in the process.
What is your health like right now?
I still have a bunch of things, but headaches and lower energy than I used to, and requiring more sleep, things like that. Obviously, it's hard not to think about the most important thing that I can't do, which is play.
I don't know how
Is
they
that the
deal with
most
these
important?
criminal situations, because like in hockey, isn't fighting celebrated and that's part of the sport? And then you hurt the person, is that considered a crime when that's part of the sport? That's like saying boxing, you
But it's whether or not it was malicious and flagrant and all those things. I think that matter. Just like in basketball, right? It's like, yes, to some degree it is understood and there's these like unspoken rules, but when you seek out someone in the manner that that man did and grab onto him when he's leaving away from you. He wasn't coming at him. He was trying to get away from him. That is, I think, where you like the lines are not blurred. There are hard boundaries. I think that's like I don't know. Let me know.
Punch the guy and then you're going to get arrested. I don't know. Like, it's tough to wrap my head around.
Incident occurred with 7.5 minutes to go in the first period. Yuri Fisher suddenly slumped over while he was on the bench. Immediately, the Wings began calling for medical aid. The fans and the players looked on in obvious grave concern as medical staff administered CPR and a defibrillator was brought onto the scene.
So if someone's heart stops, you can't feel a pulse, they're not breathing, they're unconscious, you start CPR, you get the defibrillator, you point for someone specific to call for help, and you get them medical aid because you need advanced cardiac life support, which requires medications, perhaps surgical interventions, etc.
What happened basically is Fish was out in a shift. He came off. He was standing there with his teammates or sitting on the bench, and he had a seizure, and he fell forward and then ended up on his side. And right away, as soon as we got aware of what was going on, we got it stopped, and we had medical help right away. They started doing CPR on him.
Not everyone who experiences a tonic-clonic seizure requires CPR. If they're actively having a seizure and their muscles are working, there could be a situation where they still have a pulse, but it may be difficult to feel in those situations.
But they hooked up the auto defibrillator is what it's called, and they shocked him. And, the heartbeat that leads to death, they got that stopped and going, and they continued with the CPR, and our medical staff obviously did a phenomenal job.
So when we put on the defibrillator on someone's chest, what it does is it analyzes the heart's rhythm to decide if it's a shockable rhythm or it's a non-shockable rhythm. Flatline means no shock advised, keep doing CPR, wait for medical help to arrive. If there are some shockable rhythms, then it says shock advised, everyone hands off, shock delivered in 3, 2, 1, you press the button and it delivers the shock, hopefully stopping the heart and restarting it in the correct rhythm.
Greg Adams with a puck and he shoots it wide of the goal. What incredible. 11 seconds to go on the penalty to Paul Martin. Erik Karlsson's been banged up. He's really hurting too.
I can't tell what's going on. He's knee? ACL? I don't see blood. That's a good sign.
Let's take a look. Oh, skate.
Did the skate go into his calf on February 2013?
That looked like his Achilles. Oh, I knew it. His Achilles got sliced by a skate. There are certain things that just, oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, indefinitely.
Achilles tendon was lacerated. Wow. He returned just 10 weeks to the day. Wow, he must have not had a complete laceration, but still, that's an incredibly painful injury. And the Achilles tendon attaches to the calcaneus. It's basically the extension of the gastroc muscle that allows attachment to the bone and really, really strong propulsion of the lower body.
A seemingly normal game between
Oh,
St.
I'm
Louis
holding
Blues
my
and
ankle
Buffalo
right
Sabres
now.
stopped in horror
Sabres.
as goaltender Clint Malarchuk goes down, bleeding from his neck.
Oh no.
6-inch laceration that partially
viewer
severs the
discretion.
jugular.
Oh no, I'm looking at the ice like I said earlier, and with the ice, I see what I don't want to see.
While the players scramble, the team's medical staff rushes to the ice.
Where did it hit him?
But Malarchuk was fearing the worst.
You want to put pressure on that area. Rapid evacuation to a surgical center.
A former combat medic and the team's athletic trainer kept pressure on the wound.
Good.
He stayed by his side as Malarchuk was rushed to the hospital.
Right.
It severed his neck. The puck severed it.
I swear I've never watched this before.
1.5 liters of blood and 300 stitches later,
300.
Clint Malarchuk seemed to have pulled through.
Wow, what a life save.
After surgery to repair the damage last night, Malarchuk was up and about today.
That's incredible.
Clint Malarchuk had just survived one of the worst moments in NHL history.
That's incredible that he survived. To get the jugular vein cut that has so much blood supply to it is truly, truly incredible. Wow.
I started to have flashbacks. The nightmares
him?
were the worst.
Wow.
I'd be sound asleep and I'd see that skate come up and I'd wake up straight up in bed.
I mean, he's describing symptoms of PTSD. And in common tongue and in common language, we talk about PTSD as if it's not as serious. We need to be very careful with this condition because people who truly have PTSD suffer greatly. And I feel when we use that term lightly, we make light of their struggle. These hockey players are survivors, but these people survived gruesome accidents, incredible stories of survival. Click here to check that out. And as always, stay happy and healthy.
Mike, I don't know if we'll be watching that one. I got to get over this one first. That Achilles one and the jugular. I didn't realize when they say like hit him in the jugular is like a real thing. Okay, I have a question. Is that like the Charlie Kirk injury? Is that where he was? I like hate to say that, but I'm interested to know the similarities because he said like if you hit that, the amount of blood. Okay, that was a lot. Wow. Y'all didn't tell me about some of these injuries. Oh, the Achilles. I'm like still my ankle is not recovering from just the thought of that. Jesus. I'm so glad everyone survived. Oh, all right, hockey friends. Go and have the day you deserve. Bye.